The sun was dipping low over Willow Creek, casting a golden glow across the calm waters of my new home in Pine Hollow, Tennessee. It was July 12th, 2023, and I'd just pulled into the driveway of my late Uncle Henry's cabin after a grueling 9-hour drive. I'm Caleb Monroe, 34, an HVAC technician who'd been through a divorce that left me with nothing but a toolbox and a stubborn streak. My ex got the house, the cat, even my favorite whiskey glass. When Uncle Henry left me this lakeside retreat, it felt like a life-flinny chance to start over. I was ready to crack a cold one, kick back on the porch, and let the quiet of the lake wash away the past. But before I could even unload my truck, trouble came knocking. 5 strangers marched onto my property like they owned it, led by a woman with a smile so sharp it could cut glass. Her name was Vanessa, and she was about to turn my dream into a nightmare. "Mr. Monroe," Vanessa said, her voice dripping with fake sweetness, "welcome to Pine Hollow. I'm afraid there's an issue. Your lake access is suspended until you settle an immediate $15,000 community preservation fee." I stood there, still in my work boots, surrounded by moving boxes, thinking these people had lost their damn minds. Behind her, 4 others clutched clipboards, one guy, Paul, I later learned, measuring my truck's bumper with a ruler like it was evidence in a crime scene. Another, a woman named Clara, snapped photos of my license plate, muttering about non-compliant decals. A third, Roger, was checking my mailbox height with a level, and the last one, Greg, was counting my trash cans like he was auditing a bank vault. They wanted $15,000 plus $4,000 in annual HOA dues, and they shoved a stack of rules at me thicker than a phone book. No trucks parked overnight, no music after 5 p.m., no fishing without a permit. I'd chosen this place because it was supposed to be free of HOA nonsense. My lawyer had confirmed it. No restrictions, no strings. But Vanessa's smirk told me she wasn't here to negotiate. I tried reasoning with her. "Look, there's got to be a mistake. This property isn't under any HOA. I just want to live here in peace." Her smile vanished. "Mr. Monroe, your uncle may have misled you. We have documents proving this cabin falls under our jurisdiction. You have 48 hours to pay, or we'll pursue legal action." Legal action? I hadn't even unpacked my socks, and they were threatening to sue me. It was absurd, but the glint in Vanessa's eyes said she meant every word. As they left, I noticed her sleek BMW with temporary plates and a real estate logo on her clipboard. This wasn't just about fees, it felt like a shakedown. That night, I sat on Uncle Henry's creaky porch, the lake shimmering under the stars, and tried to make sense of it. The cabin was cluttered with his old radios and dusty boxes, but in the basement, I found a locked filing cabinet with a note in his handwriting. "Caleb, if they're coming for you, use your birthday in reverse. Check the folder labeled Last Resort." Henry. My heart raced. What had Uncle Henry hidden? I spun the lock 12-25-89, and it clicked open. Inside were 42 notarized dock rental contracts, each worth $3,000 a year, signed by residents of Pine Hollow. That's $126,000 annually, and Vanessa's name was on one, owing $9,000 in unpaid rent. I wasn't just their neighbor, I was their landlord. The next morning, Vanessa returned with a compliance officer named Martin, dressed like he was auditioning for a mob movie. They brought an inspection team, measuring my lawn, photographing my porch light, and citing safety violations like my toolbox in the garage. It was a circus, but I had Uncle Henry's ace in the hole. I called a property lawyer, Sarah Thompson, who confirmed the contracts were airtight. Better yet, I owned 250 feet of lake water under riparian rights, meaning every dock sat on my property. Vanessa wasn't just harassing, Mesh was trespassing. As I dug deeper, I learned Vanessa ran a real estate firm, Crescent Shores Properties, with plans for a $5 million condo project that hinged on controlling lake access. My water rights were a dagger in her plans. A neighbor, Tom Wheeler, a retired sheriff, filled me in over coffee. "She's been bullying folks out of their homes for years," he said. "The Millers, the Parkers, they all sold cheap after she buried them in fines and lawsuits." Vanessa wasn't just an HOA tyrant. She was a predator. She cranked up the pressure. Flyers appeared, accusing me of planning a commercial marina to ruin Pine Hollow. Neighbors shunned me. Kids were yanked indoors when I passed. Inspectors hit me with $1,200 in fines for unpermitted wiring, my plugged-in drill, and noise violations, a radio at noon. Vanessa was weaponizing the community, painting me as a villain. At her emergency meeting, 80 residents packed the community center, eating up her PowerPoint about how my greed would tank their property values. She proposed buying my cabin for $200,000, half its value. The crowd cheered, but I was ready. I walked in late, a manila folder in hand, and the room fell silent. Before you vote, I said, let's talk about your dock rentals. Confusion rippled through the crowd. I held up the contracts. You've been using my docks for free, but these agreements say you owe $3,000 each per year. Vanessa, you're $9,000 behind. The room exploded. Neighbors demanded answers. Vanessa's face drained of color. I laid out the deed, the water rights, the notarized contracts. You're not buying me out, I said. You're my tenants. Tom backed me up, confirming he'd witnessed the agreements years ago. Vanessa screamed about fraud, but the crowd wasn't buying it. They voted 79-4 to oust her as HOA president. She didn't go quietly. The next day, cops showed up, claiming I'd trespassed with surveying equipment, my tape measure. An EPA inspector investigated toxic dumping, my old radio. Vanessa filed a $30,000 lawsuit, but Sarah, the lawyer, was already working with state investigators. Tom uncovered financial records showing Vanessa had siphoned $520,000 from condo investors, spending it on her BMW, a kitchen remodel, and legal fees to harass neighbors. She'd even begged investors for another $150,000, claiming she'd secure lake access. It was wire fraud, plain and simple. The community turned. Neighbors like the Millers shared horror stories of Vanessa's tactics: fake fines, relentless harassment, forced sales. A county investigator, Lisa Harper, connected Vanessa to a corrupt building inspector, her cousin's husband, who'd pocketed $20,000 in consulting fees. Security footage caught her team vandalizing my yard. The feds moved in, charging her with wire fraud, securities fraud, and filing false reports, crimes carrying up to 7 years. At the final HOA meeting, 95 residents packed the room. Tom laid out Vanessa's decade-long scam, and the Miller's story broke hearts. The vote to dissolve her HOA board was unanimous. I offered new dock leases at $2,500 a year fair, with environmental protections. Most signed on. Vanessa's allies fled. Her real estate license was revoked, her company collapsed, and her BMW was repossessed. She got 5 years in federal prison and $700,000 in restitution she'll never pay. 2 years later, on July 12, 2025, Pine Hollow thrives. My 38 dock rentals bring in $95,000 annually, plus $65,000 from a legit developer building eco-friendly homes. I work part-time, fish with Tom, and share sunsets with Emily, the librarian who helped me fight Vanessa. The lake is cleaner, wildlife is back, and Uncle Henry's cabin is my sanctuary. His hidden note, "Caleb, you've got the grit to see this through. The lake's yours," sits framed on my wall. Vanessa's in prison, folding laundry, her empire dust. The community's honest now, property values up 20%. I help others fight HOA scams, a side gig with Tom. Karma hit hard, but was it enough? Did I go too far exposing Vanessa publicly? Should I have accepted her apology? Comment below. Have you faced a bully like this? Was my fight justice or revenge? Like, subscribe, and share your story. Let's hear it.